Hey everyone, it's me Doomlink, and welcome finally to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Why do I say finally? Well, I actually started this Let's Play in December of 2017. Why has it taken so long for me to get out Part 1? In fact, how does that even make sense? How could you have started the Let's Play in 2017 if this is Part 1 and it's January 2021? The answer to that question is that when I started this Let's Play in December of 2017, it was right moving into January 2018, just towards the end of December. And at that time, I didn't really know how to do a good audio setup for what I was going for. I had appeared on camera for the first time on my channel, and I had my microphone positioned really far away from my mouth because I didn't want it in shot. I was actually standing up for it, and it was my intention to actually do a reboot of this Let's Play with better audio from the start, with me standing up, but I've decided that it's a little bit too difficult to manage, for the reason that it's extra setup time for me when I'm doing a live recording, and it's also not as comfortable to play while standing. I found that you get used to sitting down while playing video games, in other words. It's not that standing is particularly tiring, it's just more tiring compared to sitting down. So definitely my capacity to appreciate and tolerate the game will probably say tolerate as opposed to appreciate, because this is not a game that I'm going to be jumping with joy while playing. Let me make that very clear at the start. It's going to be a little bit easier for me to put up with whatever I have to put up with in the game if I'm sitting down and not, exerting any effort. Even a basic amount of effort like standing would be enough to possibly tip me over the edge, we'll see. But yeah, I did something along the lines of 12 to 14, maybe even 15 recordings in that previous setup where I had me standing, and over the recordings, the audio got better and better as I continued to, I suppose, improve the sound. But I decided that it would be better to just start from the beginning, and there was also a period of time where I didn't add to that Let's Play for ages, so I thought that it would be better to reboot. And I did one attempt at that, and I wasn't really happy with it. Again, I was standing and I hadn't organized the lighting properly, so here I am, starting part 1 again in a seated position, hoping for a little bit of a better result. Anyway, I will check out the chat. I'm doing rather well, Vernon. I'm doing well for now, anyway. I'm about to play Skyward Sword. There is a bit of a story attached to this game relating to myself, and I would like to tell that story, because if I'm going to tell it, it would be during the first part of my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So of course my 3D Zelda story begins with The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. It was around the same time in the year 2006 when I first played those on GameCube. And of course, in the years following that first experience with 3D Zelda, I definitely played Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask as well not long after. Also on the GameCube in the case of Ocarina of Time, but the first time I had played Majora's Mask I was playing emulated. And the reason why was because it was fairly easy to get your hands on a GameCube disc for Ocarina of Time. I just happened to have it because it came with the GameCube disc of Wind Waker. I had the special edition or whatever that included a GameCube Ocarina of Time plus Master Quest disc. So it was fairly easy for me to be playing Ocarina of Time on a console. Whereas in the case of Majora's Mask, I just emulated it in the early days of Project 64, which was honestly quite fun. I didn't really have to deal with any issues back then. I mean, emulation was nowhere near as smooth back in 2007 as it is today, but it was relatively fine. That was my first experience with Majora's Mask, and that was good. Basically, as the years ploughed on, we'll say 4 years afterwards, I was really ready for a new Zelda game to come out. I wanted to really experience more of what Twilight Princess had to offer, to be honest with you, because Twilight Princess in particular just really is something about the atmosphere of it, something about the way it looked, the way it played, the way it had evolved the 3D Zelda formula from Wind Waker and Majora's Mask really made me want to see what they could do next. And then, rumblings of a new Zelda game appeared. And not long after that, probably weeks after, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword at E3 2010. To say that I was excited would be an understatement. I was well and truly ready for the next 3D Zelda game. And then as soon as I saw the gameplay, my excitement began to drain away. Not only did the game look totally different to Twilight Princess, of course, I was expecting something along the lines of Twilight Princess. I was wanting something dark, something gritty. No. The gameplay that was shown at E3 2010 for The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword was so bright and colourful and gross looking that to say that it's betrayed my expectations would be putting it lightly. I was upset, but beyond that, it was that big on-screen Wiimote in the heads-up display, and it was the fact that I was watching this dickhead swinging his arm around to do everything. Of course, Twilight Princess was a game that I experienced on GameCube. I never had to touch the Wiimote to play Twilight Princess. That was never a part of the experience for me. It was for some people. Definitely, I'd say the vast majority of people who played Twilight Princess when it came out played it on the Wii. So they would have played it with a Wiimote, so it wasn't a big deal, it wasn't a novelty to play a Zelda game with a Wiimote by the time Zelda Skyward Sword was being announced. It was for me, and it wasn't a good kind of novelty. It was, to me, at the time, and still remains to this day, in my opinion, a complete and utter gimmick. And I felt as if Skyward Sword, I mean, this is an opinion that I did develop over several years, but I came to the decision that Skyward Sword was the victim of almost advertisement, which was ridiculous to me, because I played Twilight Princess with a traditional controller, and of course I wanted to do the same with Skyward Sword, but for some reason Nintendo was so desperate to demonstrate Wii Motion Plus that they decided to turn an entire iteration in the Zelda series into one big advertisement for Wii Motion Plus. That's the way I looked at it as time passed. When I was first seeing it, I was just angry that I didn't have an option to play with a controller. I assumed that that wasn't going to be the case, because the only reason why I had an option to play with a controller in the past was because Twilight Princess was released on both the GameCube and the Wii. This was going to be Wii exclusive. So, yeah, that led me to not play the game at all. I had no desire to play Skyward Sword. It was a continuation in the series that I did not want to touch. I pretended that it didn't exist. Well, perhaps I didn't pretend that it didn't exist, but I certainly didn't play it, and I certainly didn't look at gameplay of it. I wasn't really interested. What I knew as far as the gameplay was basically what I saw at E3, and nothing more. And then, eventually, I decided in late 2017, probably before then actually, I think it was early 2017, around that time, when I decided, you know what, I'm going to record it blind for the first time on the channel. Well, I'm going to play it blind, as in a first playthrough, and I'm going to do it on the Doomlink channel, because maybe my perspective would be interesting for some people. And I did that, and I recorded it on camera. Well, I, recorded my visual appearance. I was standing up, and again, that was the first time that I had appeared on camera on YouTube, but I wanted to do a reboot of that due to, the audio being less than appropriate as far as I'm concerned. Along with the game itself, which is right here, doesn't look quite as good. Well, it's actually flipped. Let me flip my display. Hold on. So, the chroma key does take the colours out a little bit. The gold is a bit richer than this. But, yeah, it's got a very thick manual as well. That's obviously where the disc sits, and the manual here, if I can communicate to you the thickness of it visually, just have a look at the thickness of the spine. See how you can actually see thickness to the spine? The last time you recorded this was the day we found out you actually had legs. Yeah, exactly. As I said, I did attempt to reboot this before, and I wasn't happy with the lighting scenario, because, you know, I wasn't used to recording standing up, or rather it had been a long time, so I was reminded of the fact that the lighting scenario would have to be different, because, in other words, I would be less illuminated if I'm up there, as opposed to down here, because the light shines down on me. Anyway, sorry, I bumped the microphone there. But yeah, that's a bit of a... Well, it's not the most exciting point. But as well as the game, I got this Wiimote, which is a gold Wiimote with the Zelda symbol on it. And when I got that, I was thinking, oh shit, I'm not going to use a white nunchuck with this gold Wiimote. That's not happening. So what did I do? I got the golden Club Nintendo nunchuck. So therefore, I'm playing with gold Wiimote, gold nunchuck, and I may as well show you the Club Nintendo box, because I do still have it. I decided that it was something of a collector's item, so I should keep the box. And that's the box it came in. Japanese only. Did not release outside of Japan. Hence, Club Nintendo. Because maybe some are not familiar with Club Nintendo. That is a Japanese thing. So, yeah, the question obviously becomes, Doomlink, if you had never played Skyward Sword before, and you, you didn't play it because you knew you'd hate it, or at the very least had a strong suspicion that you hated it, or would hate it, rather, why would you go so far as to do that? It's because I'm a little bit... I'm ritualistic, I'm ceremonious, I like to have these sorts of things. It's just my thing, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, whoa. So, to start with, I probably need to organize my sensor bar in such a way that it's not going to have any interference. I mean, this is alright, actually. This is fine. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing here. I'm going to stay on this side. Maybe it's fine to be on this side. I might be in the way of the buttons. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change the in-game options. I need to place my Wiimote on a flat surface. There we go. I will point the Wiimote at the screen, I'll put it in the center. But yeah, I will change the in-game options to remove that big Wiimote thing on the heads-up display, because it honestly looks awful. But, yeah, everything's looking alright there. The colors are interesting. Yeah, it looks nice, doesn't it? I think it looks good. I think the game looks nice. It looks slightly better than Twilight Princess does on the Wii, but you would hope so, given that this game came out several years later. But, yeah, technically 5 years later, I guess. Alrighty, so this is a quest log that I made. You can see the date of when I last did a recording here, and on camera I had removed my previous save. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. We delete with minus. Once deleted, previous data cannot be restored. You want to delete this quest log? Yeah. Hello, Ant. But yeah, you were able to get the golden Wiimote through Western releases of Skyward Sword. It was a Skyward Sword thing. It wasn't really something that you would get outside of Skyward Sword, and that's obviously clear because it does have the Zelda symbol on it. Oh my god, the Wiimote is off the charts right now. It really is. Wiimotion plus, everyone. Whoa. But yeah, I do really like this on-screen keyboard. I think it looks really nice and nicely styled. I really don't like Wiimotion Plus right now. It's really messing around with me. Maybe... no, it's alright. So we are going to go with the name Link. That is generally what I go with. But maybe I should try to organize my sensor bar a little bit. What I could do, while you guys are enjoying this cutscene, I don't know how the volume of the game is. Oh my god. If I can possibly demonstrate to you how loud this thing is when it vibrates, you'll see why it's so immersion breaking. Like, who wants to listen to that shit? It sounds that loud in person. It's just this loud... like... Am I using a controller or am I using a vibrator? I really don't understand. Anyway, apparently that's immersive to have... I was really getting pissed off with it while I was recording... whatever it was. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles The Crystal Bearers, but it's probably going to be annoying here as I play this. I guess I can turn off vibrations somehow, but I'll worry about that later. I'm shifting my tripod to the side. That should be alright. Do I have any social media links? He's given me 3 question marks. I'm not one for social media. I do have something of a private Discord for people who, you know, quite frequently watch my stuff. The reason why I leave my Discord for people who watch my stuff frequently is because I feel like it's not really a place for casual viewers, you know what I mean? That's why it's, well, Potato calls it an OnlyFans, as one word. Haven't really come across that word myself, but I suppose that's an apt description. It's funny, the game is so bright natively that I had to reduce the brightness in my recording settings so that it didn't look unreasonably bright and shiny. Now, if you want to do a side-by-side comparison between Link in this game and Link in Twilight Princess, I'd like you to tell me which one is more convincing, which one you relate to more, which one seems more heroic. Rise, Link, the time has come for you to awaken. You are fated to have a hand in a great destiny, and it will soon find you. The time has come for you to awaken. Link. And this is our Midna replacement too. An emotionless thing. Spirit creature. I don't really know much about it. I mean, maybe she develops more, and maybe I'm being unfair. Let me make it very clear that I really don't know what's going on in this game beyond the first dungeon. I understand that there is a lot of story. In fact, it is the story that leads people to say that Skyward Sword is actually underrated. I don't think people say it's underrated on the basis of the fact that it's actually a good game, mechanically speaking. I think they talk about the story being good, and that not enough people appreciate the story. I mean, maybe the story's good, I don't know. But I've only gone as far as the first dungeon, have not completed the first dungeon. I probably got maybe a quarter of the way through the first dungeon, and then I stopped. Hey, sleepyhead, I know how much you like to sleep in, so I'm guessing this letter will be your alarm clock this morning. Yeah, your bird just spat on me, so I'm less than impressed. Rise and shine, Link. Today's the wing ceremony. It's in red, which means it's important. You promised to meet me before it starts, remember? If you really want to join the Discord, I'll send you a link. Well, I'll put a link in chat at the end of the recording, how about that? You'd better not keep me waiting, Zelda. Of course, Zelda's appearance in this game also is awful. Maybe not awful, we won't call it awful, it's only comparatively awful. Of course, the point of comparison that I'm talking about is Twilight Princess, the game that came out 5 years before this one. I don't like Link's design in this game compared to Twilight Princess, and I certainly don't like Zelda's appearance in this game compared to Twilight Princess, although I understand that the Zelda characters between the two games are very different. The Zelda character in Twilight Princess is supposed to be a very mature and sort of, she's got a dark beauty to her, I would say, in Twilight Princess. It sort of links into the whole nature of the game, and Zelda is not, she doesn't have a huge role to play in the story in Twilight Princess, at least as a character. She does have a role to play as, in a more shallow sense. I shouldn't say shallow. She has a basic purpose to serve, and she serves that purpose. She's not a character with actual development like Midna or Ilia in the story. But she does have a very specific appearance that goes along with her role, and I guess if she had that appearance in this game, it would be a bit weird. But I don't like Zelda's design here. I understand what they were going for, but I feel like they could have executed it better. I think I don't like her haircut or something like that. But, yeah, what am I doing here? There are options that I can access to turn off this on-screen Wiimote thing. I'm in the way of it, as you can see. But I don't know if it's better for me to be... You know what I'll do? I'll put myself on the left side, because I feel like if I'm in the way of look and lock on, it's not that big of a deal, whereas maybe the other stuff is worth having on the screen. Yeah, we'll do that. And I will figure out a way. There's a way to access options in this game that very much eluded me in the past. Is it B? No. There are options to access here. Okay, how about 2? No, that's just... There's a button that I'm missing here. Well, whatever. I guess we'll worry about it later. Maybe it's in the map? That would be weird. There is a way to get rid of that on-screen Wiimote thing. In my opinion, it's clutter. We know what a fucking Wiimote looks like, right? If we see these buttons in this setting, like the way these buttons are set out, we're not going to be like, oh, how does that relate to this? We're going to work it out. We don't need the frickin' outline. The outline is clutter and it's unnecessary. And I will figure out a way to turn it off. Anyway, we are in the year 2011 right now as we're playing this game. Not really, we're technically in the year 2021, but we'll pretend that we're in the year of 2011. Can you believe that we have to focus, or rather we have, at our disposal currently, Z-targeting as our only means of changing the camera direction? The last time that was present in a 3D Zelda game was in the year 2000. 2000. On not the previous Nintendo console, but the Nintendo console before it. Before the previous one. Nintendo 64. That was the last time we had to use Z-targeting to change the camera. Now, you can technically change the camera direction by doing this. But that shit's awkward. Why would anyone prefer this to just having a frickin' analog stick on the right side? And just, you know, moving the camera very naturally. I mean, that's normal. But no. Let's go backwards in game design, so that I can swing my arm around like an idiot. Sounds like a great idea. I'll press 1 and there's a button somewhere. Okay, where is the button? Oh god, frickin' calibration. Hold on, let me do that again. Okay, that's a little better. God, Wii Motion Plus feels terrible. So it's in 1 somewhere. Oh, this thing. Calibrate Wii Motion Plus? Okay, well you can calibrate that, that's great. Oh, I placed it on a flat surface, but it's moving. Stop it! Okay, well, it already feels better, actually. Yeah, that feels like a slightly better... Oh, no, 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 it's going all over the place. What I'll do... Hold on, let me shift my sensor bar a little bit. That might be a little better. It's a bit more... It seems like the positioning is a little better. Hold on, let me... Bottom left, you say? Okay, hold on. Oh, what the fuck are you doing? Look at this! Well, you can't really see it. I'm just holding my frickin' Wiimote horizontal... Oh my god. Is it... What's getting in the way of it? Nothing is in the way of it. What is your problem? Frickin' Wii Motion Plus. Why is the motion worse than it was in the past? That's what I want to fucking know. Bottom left. Are you sure you're not talking about this? Because I hit this. This is Calibrate Wii Motion Plus. And obviously after calibrating it didn't fucking do anything. They do not give you the option to change the interface this early in the game. Good to know. I'm not impressed with Wii Motion Plus at the moment. It's awful. I don't know why it actually works better here in this screen than it does in the menu. That makes no fucking sense to me. Like, I have no issue changing the direction of the camera here in this position. Seems to work perfectly fine. Whereas when I'm in the menu... It's like... It's really not great. So apparently I can throw this pot and it goes into the ceiling or something like that. You want to know how to throw in this game? Gimmick. Gimmick, gimmick, gimmick. I feel like I'm interacting with the game on another level. I feel so incredibly immersed right now. Hello. You are a lady, yeah. I wasn't sure. Your nose is frightening. In fact, your nose plus your haircut really does set you up as some kind of villain. But I guess you're not a villain. Where in the clouds is that Fledge boy? That's ridiculous. Don't say that again. He's supposed to be bringing me barrels. Sometimes I just don't know what's going on in that boy's head. Okay. Well, that's really interesting. Apparently we can run by swinging this thing, or rather roll, by swinging the nunchuck around. And in fact, I didn't originally know that the nunchuck had any sort of motion sensing in it, but apparently it does. And you can hold the nunchuck vertically to shield, I think. I don't know. We will relearn this stuff. I think this guy's having trouble picking up these barrels. Good morning, Link. Today's the wing ceremony, right? I wanted to fly too, but I didn't make the cut, so I'm stuck back here at the academy. Plus, I've got to move these barrels over to the kitchen, well, you seem to be struggling with that. Not quite as much as Mido was struggling to pick up those rocks back in Ocarina of Time, but you are quite red-faced all the same. I was hoping to at least be able to cheer you on, Link, but I guess that's the way it goes. Go out there and wow them, buddy. Yeah, alright. Just making sure everything's alright with the recording, I would say that it is. Well, I think we've basically... Oh no, there is another guy to talk to in here. But yeah, this is the first introduction of the running versus rolling. You can roll in this game, but the easiest way to get around... I think you can roll anyway. The easiest and fastest way to get around, however, is to dash, like this. And of course this was kept in Breath of the Wild. It was a major part of Breath of the Wild, in fact. Morning, Link. So, today's the wing ceremony. Are you ready? All I'm saying is everyone is out practicing at the plaza, but you seem pretty relaxed about the whole thing. Well, I didn't even know what the bloody wing ceremony is, so that's problem number one. Of course, that Crimson Loftwing of yours is something special. I'd feel pretty confident riding him too. My bird won the last ceremony. Okay. But even I don't think he could beat that red terror of yours. Well, my concern is that you look like you're trying to, I don't know, join some sort of Link fan club? Or perhaps he wants to be Yellow Link in Four Swords, and unfortunately for him there is no Yellow Link. That colour is not included in the four colours, so you're a bit of an outlier, my friend. Maybe he's not joining the Link fan club. What's he looking at, though? Okay. He's checking out what's written there. He's got a bit of reading material, clearly. There's a man with long white hair, or bleach blonde, depending on what you'd want to say. Hey Link, the day of the wing ceremony is finally upon us. It's time to put what you've learnt to use. I haven't learnt anything. I don't know what it even is, much less what I'm supposed to do. Or that, well, I technically do, but Link doesn't because, well, assuming this is the first time I'm playing, I wouldn't know what it is. All those practical skills I taught you, and all the academic prowess Instructor Hall taught you. While we're at it, do you remember how to look around using C? Press C when you want to take a look at your surroundings. Or you could just connect a fucking controller to the console and play the game properly, instead of swinging your arm around like an actual doofus. If you feel as though the cursor has moved out of alignment, which seems to happen constantly, point the Wii remote at the screen and press down to easily rectify the situation. Okay. Well, the best way to rectify the situation I've found is turning off the game. But we won't, that's not really going to help this Let's Play along, is it? I do need to actually complete it. So, I guess, Fledge, okay. Is that a person's name? It's someone's room, I guess. Fledge's room. Let's get out of here. I've had my fun. I've talked to a few people. I've basically been, you know, no pressure, Link. But apparently you've learnt a lot, and you need to put what you've learnt to the test, even though you know jack shit. So good luck with that. Our first save point is going to be, well, just up ahead. Not here, but rather back there. There is a bird statue that we can save at. Instead of owl statues, we've got bird statues in this game, in other words, obviously. Drawing a comparison to Majora's Mask in that regard. As you can see, that bird is a Loftwing. Well, you don't know that it's a Loftwing if you've never played the game before, but that bird that spat on us in the morning when we woke up, I guess it's still the morning here in-game, was a Loftwing. And it is rather reminiscent of this statue. I have now saved the game. Now, I was actually struggling to do this next thing, not literally climbing up here, but I'm supposed to rescue a cat here. And I went the wrong way. I think it was a cat, I can't remember what it was actually. Hey Link, up here. But I'll tell you what I was struggling with. It's terrible game design, is as far as the situation that I'd found myself in, but I will try to demonstrate the problem that I was having. Not the first time I was recording, but the second time. This is the third time that I'm going through the beginning of the game now. Good morning to you, Link. Today is finally the day of the long-awaited wing ceremony. Skyward Sword is your favorite Zelda. I hope you're open to criticism. Not you personally, but open to criticism of your favorite game, because I don't like Skyward Sword at all. In fact, I refused to play it for the first 7 years of its existence, so yeah. Are you feeling ready? Oh, I just remembered. There's something I'd like to ask you about. Look this way while pressing and holding Z, then press A to have a quick chat with me. Now here's the catch. It's not a quick chat. He goes on and on and on. He's basically a liar. He says quick chat. It's one of those little key phrases that would prompt one to talk to you. But you know in your mind that you're not going to have a quick chat in actual fact. You're just going to gas bag for ages. Excellent. Always remember you can press Z to target something. Once you have targeted someone with Z, you can easily talk to him or her by pressing A. Okay, so it's, you know, Nintendo 64 level shit. And even when there isn't anything to target, pressing Z is a convenient way to quickly face your view forward. Yeah, you know what would be even better than that? I mean, it's nice to have that functionality, but I would like to actually be able to have a freaking analog stick to move my camera. But I guess I'm going to stop complaining about that because that's obviously not an option for me, so yeah, time to get used to it. Oh, but it's a little silly to carry on a conversation from this distance. Why don't you come join me up here? Isn't it funny that he's still not done talking to us? A quick chat, and now he's like, oh, well, we can't keep talking from this distance, so come up here and have a chat. It's like, well, what if I have something to do? In fact, I'm supposed to find my loft wing and do this wing ceremony. And instead I'm stuck chatting to you the whole time. You should be able to climb up if you dash up to the top of that wooden box, don't you think? I've got no idea. You need to tell me what to do. I have no clue what I'm expected to do. Move while holding A to dash. Well, I technically have a clue as to what I'm supposed to do because I've done this before, but I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who's never played before, which would have been the ideal scenario, but wasn't happy with the older recordings. You should be able to make that jump fairly easily. Hey, Ron. Do I want help? No, I'm doing alright. I'm doing quite alright. Nothing has tripped me up just yet. And but if you're hanging around and I'm ever lost, then I really didn't mean to do that. You know, this is exactly what happened last time. They have this stupid system where I can stand from this fucking distance to interact with the statue. But I need to press A to do a run up to these boxes. It really is just delightful game design, isn't it? You would think that someone along the line was just like, hey, shouldn't we position the burn statue somewhere else if we're going to have someone do a run and jump up here pressing A? They're probably going to accidentally activate the statue and then they're just like, no, it doesn't matter. It's not like we're it's not like we're designing Twilight Princess here. This is just Skyward Sword. This is a gimmick game. Alright. This is just to advertise Wii Motion Plus. We don't have to worry too much about good game design. So what do you think? Using A to dash is useful, isn't it? However, don't dash around so much that you tire yourself out, or your stamina gauge will empty and you'll be completely out of breath. I'm surprised you're not out of breath with all the talking you're doing. It's best to take a little break when your stamina gauge gets close to empty. Got all that? On to the next point. He's still not done. You can jump a short distance like this just by moving toward it. It's something I like to call the auto jump. Ah yes, auto jump. It just has a nice ring to it. Well, you know something? That's not a phrase you would say in real life relating to human motor function. You wouldn't call it auto jump anyway. I just did an auto jump that was so automatic that I feel your choice of naming is indeed apt. He still has more to say because he had a speech bubble above his head. So what are you up to? Well, I was, here we go, rushing to get some last-minute bird riding practice in this morning, Link. Well, if I was rushing to do something last minute, I probably don't have much time, and you seem perfectly content to take up all of that time. He doesn't even want to look at me. He's got his eyes closed. Doesn't even have the common decency to look at the person he's talking to, and basically wasting all of the time of. That was a strange sentence. Oh? You have someone to meet? Ah, Zelda's waiting for you, is she? Well, I wouldn't keep you. Never mind. He is going to keep us. Check this out. Perfect timing then. You see, Zelda's father, Headmaster Gaypora, has a pet named Mia, and, well, she's scampered off again. On top of the building, of course. Oh, you'd played games like Wii Sports before this one. I just do an auto jump into my car. Yeah. The headmaster is so busy working with Zelda preparing for the ceremony, I thought that maybe I should feed her, but the ceremony is about to start Well, if it's about to start, then leave me alone. The ceremony's about to start, and I just put on a fresh set of clothes, and, well, you see, will you help me out and go retrieve Mia for me? Well, I don't really have an option to say no. I do believe this is a requirement. So, I'm on it, I guess. Fantastic. So you'll do it? I know you're in a hurry. No, you don't. And if you do, then that just further confirms your complete lack of common decency. Really. I know you're in a hurry, so I really appreciate your taking the time to help. Well, the more he knows, the more inconsiderate he is. So, there you go. I did watch yesterday's episode of Shingeki no Kyojin, Potato, and it was fucking great. It was basically everything that I was hoping for. And, you know, you had the speech coming up, and I was like, that's going to be exciting, and then you had, you know, the interaction between those two, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is going to be great, and then the episode turned out just as well as I was hoping. You should be able to climb up somewhere over there. If you hang off that ledge there, you can climb onto the roof from the other side. I'm terribly sorry, but I know you're quite the climber. I really do appreciate it. I would appreciate it if you stopped talking to me, in fact. Now, I can't... Oh, that's right, we have to do a run and jump on this thing, and then sort of climb along the side of this. We have seen this in Wind Waker before. And, yeah, it's a bit more awkward in this game, to be honest with you. Oh, here we go. I don't think we're supposed to do an auto jump. I think, well, it's technically an auto jump, isn't it? But we want to do a run and auto jump. It's a run auto jump. Alright. So now that we're up here, and again, like, if I want to change the direction of the camera, this is the thing. Basic game function in the year of 2011 would allow me in this position to just move my analog stick so that my camera faces the left side so I can get a better look at that thing. Instead, what I have to do is either do this, or, you know, that. I have to do that. Like, it's awful, it's awkward and stupid, and it should not be acceptable for a game in the year 2011 to require me to do that. Hey, Link. I don't care how good a jumper you think you are, you'll never reach a roof that high just pressing A to dash. I would have enjoyed watching you try to pull this off in your fresh clothes, quite frankly. Mr. Fresh. There should be a wooden box up there. Grab and move one with A, and use it as a platform of sorts. Of sorts? It is effectively a platform. You can climb onto a platform by pressing A to dash, or by pressing the one analog stick you have in hand, for a few moments. Oh my god. Hearing every dialogue box ground to pieces. Oh dear. I don't try to, it does it on its own, really. Okay. So we want to do a run and jump, yeah. Pretty simple, it's all very automatic. And here's the weird creature, it looks like a lemur slash monkey slash pygmy slash... I don't know what it is, but anyway. Let's just take it. So this is the funny thing. If we accidentally go this way, we're fucked. Do you know why? It's because we cannot do the climbing necessary to get back to that guy while holding this creature. Okay? So, what that means is that this creature will be stuck down there. And the only way to get the creature to the guy is by resetting the fucking game and doing it all over again. As in, making your way up here so that you can find the thing there. It doesn't... If you leave... Well, if you leave the instance, if you go inside the building and then out again, I don't believe it resets. It's just a mess. It's such stupid game design in my opinion. It's so easy to just accidentally go that way instead. That's what I did last time I was here. Silly Doom Link. You were supposed to jump down here. What kind of noise was that? It sounded like a cat. It's not supposed to be a cat, and if that's a cat, that is a weird looking cat. Nice work. You brought her back safe and sound, or you've brought her back safe and sound. Sorry for troubling you with this. I know you're busy, Link. Stop saying that. I suppose I should feed Mia now. That would be great. I'm surprised he's not like, Well, Link, I just put on this new outfit. I don't want to get dirty, so would you be able to feed her? It's like, well, no, actually, I wouldn't be able to, but I guess if that was a requirement to continue through the game, then I would bloody well have to. Please tell the headmaster that we found his pet. He should be up by the statue of the goddess, which is where we're supposed to go now. That's the idea. We find out that information by delivering the frickin' pet to him. So again, it is a requirement of continuation. Yeah. Exactly, Jim. Terrible game design, in other words. I believe Zelda is there with him, so you should hurry along. How are we going for time? Seems that we are 40 minutes in. I'm probably going to do another 20 or 30 minutes, we'll see. Really depends on how we're doing. Now, this is a very important point, ladies and gentlemen. See what this guy's doing? I'm just going to watch him a little bit. Just going to watch him. I want you to see where he's hitting the gate, and I want you to see what instrument he's using to hit the gate. What could he possibly be doing? What would he be hammering in place? To me, the only thing that would really do, I mean, unless he's hammering a nail in, but what would the nail do? And even under those circumstances, I feel like what he's doing is more akin to destroying the gate than fixing it. Anyway, I just wanted to say that first. Now you're going to hear what he's actually doing, and you're going to try to connect what he's apparently doing to what we can visually see him doing. This guy looks like someone went nuts in a Dark Souls character creator. Morning, Link. How's life? Did you manage to even get a wink of sleep last night? No, because I kept on visualizing you in my mind, and I certainly couldn't fall asleep at that point. Figured you might have been tossin' and turnin' all night thinkin' about the big ceremony today. If I looked as inbred as you, I'd probably struggle with speaking as well. What am I doing? Oh, just fixin' this gate here. We've confirmed that he's trying to fix it. Now, what is he trying to fix with the gate? It's been squeaky lately, and we can't have that on the day of the ceremony. Okay. Now, if you've got a squeaky gate, what do you think's squeaking? The hinge? Okay. If the hinge is squeaking, why are you smashing the gate with a hammer on a place that's not the hinge? Like, you're just hitting the main part of the gate. Like, anyway. I hear oil works for squeaky hinges? I don't know, like, just a thought. Hey, you haven't already forgotten to send your prayers to the goddess this morning, have you? Just face the bird statue over there and say a short prayer to save your progress. Thanks for breaking the fourth wall for my benefit. As you know, those bird statues are all over Skyloft. I don't know that, but now I do, thanks. It's about time you get in the habit of stopping at a statue every time you run by one. He is sus, look at him. Look at his ears, he's got donkey ears. A prayer in time saves 9, if you know what I'm saying. No! That makes no fucking sense. I don't know what you're saying. Don't talk to me ever again. I technically talked to him, but it was mainly so that I could question what he was doing with the bloody gate, because it makes no damn sense. My point is that what he's doing would only further break the gate, rather than fix the damn thing. Anyway, these little, I guess it's like fruit. What is it called? Yeah, stamina fruit. This peculiar fruit replenishes your stamina gauge. I was going to explain it myself, but the game was nice enough to do it for me. I guess I don't even need a commentary, do I? The game is just, it does it all on its own. The game is so ridiculous that I don't even need to outline what's ridiculous about it, and if anything needs to be known by the player, it's explained anyway. So yeah, what am I doing here? That is the question. Here we go. More cutscenes. And we're about to meet Zelda as she appears in Skyward Sword. Her haircut isn't really for me, but there you go. I don't like this guy's hair either. That's a creepy smile. I'm just boosting the volume of the game because it seems to be too quiet. Hey, good morning, Link. Yeah, nice haircut. Your hair is so perfectly horizontal that it's frightening. I'm glad to see my Loftwing got you out of bed. Yeah, he spat on me too. Are you going to apologize for that, or are you just going to, you know, laugh it off? Ha 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 ha, yeah, no problem. I've got saliva on my face in the morning. I wouldn't mind it if it were your saliva, but I don't know about the bird. I was pretty sure you'd sleep in and forget to meet me this morning. But look at this instrument, and look at this outfit. They're mine today to you. Hold on. Can we just appreciate the way Link is looking at the harp? Yeah, it's a harp, Link. If you want a little bit of simple entertainment, just sit here for about a minute or two, and just observe the way Link is so clearly awestruck by this instrument. He's obviously got a few, well, he's missing a few brain cells, clearly. This is what you get. You go from Twilight Princess Link to this actual idiot. This mentally deficient, stupid-looking boy. I don't know. They're mine to use today in the ceremony since I'll be playing the role of the goddess. It's like he's overacting. Why does the hand on my right side, well, not technically, well, yeah, that works actually. So the hand on the right side looks fine, like your fingers are well defined. And then on the left side, it's like, well, look out. I guess that particular perspective is a bit too hard for them to manage at this point in time. In this point in game graphic designs things, yeah, I'm not a game designer, I don't know the lingo. Are they beautiful? Or rather, aren't they beautiful? Especially this instrument. Yeah, it must be beautiful, considering what Link was doing. They tell me it's just like the one the goddess was said to have in the legends. It sounds gorgeous too. I asked Father about it and he says it's called a harp. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, keep looking at me like that. And look at these clothes. I made this wrap myself, and we get to use it in today's ceremony. Between the harp and this outfit, I'm going to make a great goddess today. I got you up early this morning because I wanted you to be the first to see me like this, Link. So, how do I look? Nice costume. I love that. I love these two options, but I don't have the heart to select any of those. Nice costume. Well, I don't understand why they're even given as options, to be honest. I mean, why would you want to say that? It's awful. I mean, any reasonable person would at least compliment her, even if you thought it looked awful. Ha, I think so too. But it's nice to know you agree. Thanks, Link. Alright, catch you later then. Ah, there you are, Zelda. Are you all prepared for today's ceremony? Oh, hello, Father. Ah, Link, you're here too. Outstanding. Now, the interesting thing about this guy is that his name is very similar to Kaepora Gaebora, who is that terrible owl that is always... well, it's always causing frustration for Zelda players in whatever game he appears in. And, this guy's name is so similar, yet he actually looks like an owl. He's got an owl look to him. He's got owl-esque eyes. He's got weird eyebrows that look a bit, you know, avian, I guess we could say. He looks like a big owl, in my opinion. It's encouraging to see you up so early, given your capacity for sleep. No doubt today's ceremony had you too excited to close your eyes for once. If you're wondering what that hammering sound is in the background, it's Bob the Builder. Who else could it be? I mean, for those of you who watch my stuff frequently, you don't even need me to tell you that it's Bob the Builder, but those who don't watch my videos frequently probably wouldn't know that it's Bob the Builder. But now you know. He lives next door. I don't have his autograph yet, unfortunately. Anyway. If you win today's ceremonial race, you'll get to participate in the post-race ritual with Zelda, so give it your best out there. Is she gonna give me some of the kissy-kissy, or what's going on with that? Yes, about that. Father, I don't know if he can do it. Recently, Link hasn't been practicing much at all for the ceremony. Okay. And even when he's out riding his Loftwing, he's just lazily gliding around, probably daydreaming. I don't know what he's thinking. He's going to have to be in perfect control of his bird to win today. And as you'll see, Zelda has such low confidence in us that she decides to throw us off the Sky Island and kill us, because we're actually that worthless. No need to worry yourself, Zelda. Though you may have a point, today's wing ceremony tests the skill of the rider as well as his bond to his bird. Victory will not come easily. And, as you pointed out, I haven't seen him practicing as hard as some of the other students. But you've known him since you were both very little. You should know better than to fret about him. You see, Link and his loft wings share a special connection. I've never seen anything quite like it. Well, wasn't special enough to save me when I was falling to my death. Anyway, we'll talk about that. When it happens, it'll happen soon. I don't know why I'm ruining the surprise. As you know, each of us in Skyloft is but one half of a pair. We are only made whole by our loft wings, the guardian birds that the goddess bestows upon each of us as a symbol of her divine protection. When we are young, every one of us meets our loft wing under the great statue of the goddess. It's quite a big moment, as I'm sure you recall. Yet Zelda's just like, why are you telling us this? This is just typical information. Like, we know this, we grew up with this knowledge. But that first meeting between Link and his loftwing was extraordinary. The bird that came to him was a crimson loftwing. It is a breed so rare that we were sure for some time that it had vanished from the line. Yes, and the boy and his bird seemed to share a profound connection from the moment they met. And Link is all shy about it. Okay, do you recall seeing Link and that loftwing of his when they first met? What a sight. This is the hilarious thing. Zelda is actually jealous of a relationship that Link has with a fucking bird. Can you believe that? It will be further developed, no doubt, as we progress through this little scene, but it's quite ridiculous. The little boy just hopped on that bird and gracefully flew away without even a moment of instruction. They were meant for each other, and judging by how jealous you were that day, I'd say the friendship he shared with his bird didn't go unnoticed by you, my dear. Okay. Can we just appreciate how awful Link's eyes look? Just look at them. Ugh. The owl guy has memory issues and they just tag along, yeah. They don't question it. But who can blame you? I'm sure you weren't the only one envious of the powerful bond shared by Link and his bird. Anyone who is a part of something special is bound to catch some nasty looks sooner or later. Hoo-hoo, he even makes owl noises. Just naturally. This contest is nothing to laugh at, Father. The ceremony is part of the final test for those training to become Knights of Skyloft. If Link doesn't fly fast enough during the race, what if Link messes up his big chance? What if he's not allowed to become a knight? And I'm not going to get the kissy-kissy. Calm down, my dear. It will be fine. Honestly, it's almost as though you become a completely different person when you worry about Link. Listen, Link, you'd better fly your heart out today. At the very least, you need to squeeze in a little practice time before the race. Come on, you'll thank me later. Here we go. We're about to get killed. Here we are. Go on now, jump off the edge and call your loftwing. It's almost time for the ceremony, so try to practice seriously for once. Now this part coming up is very important. Keep this in mind. Oh yeah? You can't sense your bird out there? Oh, I get it, you're trying to weasel out of having to practice. Nice try, but you're not fooling me. Off you go. Okay, Link, go ahead. Just press down and call your loftwing. I didn't even press down. But apparently saying press down on a D-pad is natural communication between people in this world. Press down on your D-pad! Something's wrong. She just pressed down on her D-pad. I don't know where the D-pad is, but it must be somewhere. Hang in there, Link, I've got you. Thank God I realized something was wrong when I did, and didn't just let you die or something. Are you two alright? She's gone and pushed her bird too far. I'm sorry, friend. I didn't mean to push you so hard. You didn't sprain your wing, did you? She's more concerned about the well-being of the bird than the young man she nearly killed. This is very odd, Link. What could have possibly happened to your Loftwing? For a bird to ignore the call of his master, it's unheard of. Yeah, well that's going to be an interesting story. And you still can't sense your bird nearby, eh, Link? This is quite a problem, especially considering the wing ceremony is about to start. Link, when you said you couldn't sense your Loftwing, well, I should have believed you. I'm sorry. I need to tend to my own Loftwing, so I'll catch up with you later. Yeah, sorry for killing you, but I've got a bird to look after. Or sorry for trying to kill you, anyway. You'd better go on ahead and see if you can find where your bird has gone. Shut up, Bob. Every day, this guy. Every fucking day. Fucking home reno. Get your big brick tower and keep making it look nice, I guess. My, how did it get to be so late? If I recall correctly, this year Instructor Horwell is presiding over the ceremony. Link, you should go explain the situation to him and see if he's willing to delay the race a little so you can find your bird. Yeah, well that would be good, wouldn't it? That would be just a delight. Yeah, he does have an interesting hairline, doesn't he? But Father, you're the headmaster of the academy. If Link asks Instructor Horwell, he'll probably just come talk to you about it. That's a good point, isn't it? Ah, quite true. As usual, you make an excellent point, my dear. Very well, I'll explain the situation to him myself. Link can run along and tell Instructor Horwell to come see me in my quarters. Why can't you just come with me and we'll go fucking speak to him? Like normal people. Why do I need to go by myself to tell him to go and find you? Like that would not be the conclusion you would draw based on what Zelda said. Zelda said that Instructor Horwell will just want to talk to you anyway. That would therefore mean you come with me and talk to him. Instead, for some reason, Instructor Horwell has to go to his quarters. Ooh. Alright. Got a bit of a bush here. Bit of a knoll of sorts. Okay. Well, aside from the fact that this bird's like dying, I suppose we're supposed to go and talk to Instructor Horwell wherever the hell he is. I don't even remember where he is, really. Is this a good stopping point? Possibly, but I might continue on a little bit more. I can't remember where Instructor Horwell is, to be completely honest. I have a feeling that he's at the training hall, but he might not be. I'm going to save, of course, because I don't want to go through all that crap again. Yes. Alright, we will jump over here. Looked like he was sliding for a brief moment there. Looks like I'm not allowed in this building. That's really annoying. Okay. I'm sure Instructor Horwell is somewhere. We will find him. He might be inside the first building we were, but it seems that with this gate open, we are expected to continue into the main, I guess, village area. What does this sign say? Knight Academy. Well, that's where we came from. So we don't want to go there. Okay, so if we talk to this kid... as you can see, Mr. Sprout Head probably is going to find himself with a mild case of brain damage very soon. What's creepy is how he just sort of looks at you. He like looks at you out of the corner of his eye and then goes and continues to give himself brain damage. Is he going to attribute this to me? Will he blame me for his brain damage? Well, if he's going to be brain damaged, then I guess it wouldn't be out of the question, would it? He'll come home to his mother with a severe mental deficiency, and he'll be like, Link didn't stop me. Well. So what he's doing back... Oh, here we go. Hold up, Link. Hey, Link, this frickin' kid. Could you help me with something? All you have to do is use A to dash and roll into the tree. Okay. Just like I've been doing. Dash, then shake the nunchuck when you're in front of the tree to BAM. Okay. Do a roll right into it. So come on, please. I can't remember what we get, but we get something. Let's do it. Oh, it's a bug. Whoa, you did it. A sky stag beetle. Wait up. Couldn't you just pick it off the fucking tree? It wasn't that high up. I guess he is quite short. Oh, he's all upset because he didn't get it. You know what I'm concerned by? You probably ran about 2 steps beyond what I just saw in that cutscene. You're very quick to give up. I guess it's the brain damage. Anyway, oh, there's a big rupee. You got a blue rupee. It's worth 5 rupees. Lucky find. Okay. I'm sure it appears every time I roll into that frickin' tree. I doubt it's that lucky. Yeah, bam. Okay. This is very reminiscent of Breath of the Wild. This is exactly what happens in Breath of the Wild. I'm trying to do something totally different, and then Link suddenly starts climbing a wall. Exactly the same thing happened right here. I just wanted to pick up one of these pots, and instead Link is running up the fucking wall because I pressed A next to the wall. Sorry. Just wanted to pick up a pot and throw it. That is what Link does best, really. So, I don't know if I want to go inside this building. I may as well. Might say hello to some people. Link is quite comfortable to walk into people's houses, uninvited. That is pretty much what he does best. Okay. You... Oh, I was about to say that you're not doing anything too terribly productive, but now you want to talk to me. Hey Link, today's the big day, isn't it? You know, the wing ceremony thing. The wing ceremony thing? To my understanding, it's an extremely integral part of this Sky Island's culture, and this guy's calling it the wing ceremony thing. Win this thing, and you'll get bumped up to senior class, or the senior class. Here in Skyloft, it's being able to ride a loft wing that separates the kids from the adults, and yet he's calling it the wing ceremony thing, as if he's not clear about what it is. And if your goal is to become a knight, well, good technique is even more important. All of us learn to fly the hard way. Lots of practice. Notice, all of us, including him, he knows what the fucking ceremony is, and he's calling it the wing ceremony thing. For God's sake, nice pot. Anyway, yeah, fuck that guy. For a second I thought, why did I look at that and think it was a whip? I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me. No, it's just a length of rope. It could be used for a similar purpose. But we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. Alright, so there are hearts growing in the frickin' garden, which is just delightful. Yeah, Master Sword thing. Oh dear. Got a butterfly. Don't believe we can catch it. Give it to Agatha. Okay, so again, apparently we are supposed to find the, I really didn't intend to do that. I just wanted to change my camera's direction, but here I am talking to you. Hey Link, how's it going? The wing ceremony's about to begin, right? Remember when Pippet won the last one right at the last second? It was so close. Now that was a race. Hey, your Crimson Loftwing will be in the race, right? Well, if I can find it. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Yeah, great. So, what I'm gonna do is go up here. I believe that that is a place to buy things. Well, I don't know what the hell is going on. That is really not what I was trying to do. Anyway, can I walk through that? No. That big carpet is in the way. Draped over the entrance. I think you've also got carpets on this entrance. Okay, I'm sorry, I won't go in there just yet, even though I have 5 rupees to spend, which is probably nothing. Relatively speaking. Well, I've got 5 rupees now, but now I've got 10. Can you let me in now? I've got money. I'm not going to waste your time. Oh yeah, Beetle actually has an airship here. I'm not trying to blind myself with a light. I think when we return here later, Beetle's airship will be here. I think that's what it's called. As opposed to shopship, you know. Shut up, Bob. Alright. Hello, there's a woman here. Your hair's a little bit more impressive than Zelda's. Hiya, Link. Nice breeze today, huh? Perfect for the ceremony. So who do you think will win today? I guess Groose is a strong contender. He's important to the story, apparently. Like, quite important. The winner will get blessed by a village girl chosen to represent the goddess. How romantic. Yeah, right. Question. What do you mean by village girl? Like it's just some random person. Isn't it the daughter of like the head of the village or something like that? Or is that not known? Is it not known that Zelda will be doing it? I guess so. I don't know. So I think we want to come here and we'll initiate a cutscene. And I think after this I'll end the video. You know, Groose, that sure was a pain, what with all the scratching and pecking. Of course it was. You thought a big Crimson Loftwing like that was going to go down without a fight? Look at him, he's wearing makeup. He's got yellow lipstick on. But we got him, and I don't care how tough those birds are supposed to be. He's not getting out of that pen anytime soon, boys. Yeah, you've got very pretty lips. These three look so ridiculous. It's actually shocking how ridiculous they look. Whoa, Link! So, yeah. Just how long have you been standing there? Actually, he didn't say have. He skipped the have part. What's your problem, anyway? Oh, wait, I got it. You're here to talk about today's race. I can see it in those dopey eyes of yours. Well, that's a pretty accurate description. They're pleading, oh, Groose, can you please find it in your heart to let me win today? Please. So you were right, Potato, it will end with a movie. I think it was you talking about that before. You're just desperate to win so you can get some alone time with Zelda up on the statue of the goddess at the end of the ceremony. Oh, you have some questions? Yeah, go for it, Potato. Well, sorry, pal. Groose doesn't do charity for whims. My advice? Work hard and wish with all your heart. You might even come in second. Possible spoilers for the final movie of Lelouch, of Katsuno Lelouch, by the way, in chat. And possibly here as well, I don't know. Say, come to think of it, how come I don't see your bird? Where's that scruffy pile of red feathers? I can't imagine what could have happened to him. Do you think his tiny brain got confused by all the clouds and got lost? Nice hair. What should I say? Give him back. Huh? I've got no idea what you're talking about. Now this here is so unnecessarily effeminate. Well, I suppose he is wearing yellow lipstick, so it's not a big deal for him to be pointing like this. He's already gone half the way to being a woman. You know, we're all getting tired of how you never let anyone forget you and Zelda go way back. You've been friends since you were kids, big deal. It doesn't change the fact that you can float through life with your head in the clouds. Or rather, that you float, it's not that it can. Anyway, I added a word in there that didn't exist, sorry. Would you wake up, straighten up, and grow a backbone already? Dopes like you are dragging our honoured academy through the mud. And just who might you be talking about, Groose? Oh, I can't remember that scene, Potato. I don't really know what you're talking about. Because, I did watch it a long time ago. I'd have to rewatch it. I think I do still have it downloaded somewhere. Oh, Zelda. Hey, nah, it's, we can talk about it on the Discord if you want, Potato. I'll rewatch that. Oh, here we go. That's how you do a point. Don't even try it, Groose. You're picking on Link again, aren't you? He's a student at the academy like all of us. Why do you insist on bullying him around so much? Yeah, I suppose... You suppose? You suppose what? Okay, that's disgusting. I suppose you, That's foul. Forget it. I wasn't supposing anything, okay? Creepy, masochistic weirdo. Okay, we're out of here, boys. Later, Link. Hope you find your bird, or else you're gonna have to sit out today's race. That could be a major setback toward knighthood, so find that bird or get real used to the taste of failure. It's your special flavor. Ugh. Those three people are a frickin' nightmare. I hate to say it, but I'm beginning to suspect that those blockheads had something to do with your Loftwing's disappearance. Link, those guys aren't going to help us find your bird, so we'd better start searching. We had better do that. I'll fly around Skyloft and see if I can spot any trace of your bird. I'd like your character a lot more if you didn't look so terrible, Zelda. Seriously. Father said he'd talk to Instructor Horwell about delaying the start of the wing ceremony, so don't worry. We'll find your bird in time. So I'm really confused. Am I supposed to be looking for Instructor Horwell, or am I not? Am I now just looking for my bird? I really am confused by what they're expecting me to do. I suppose now that I've been told by Zelda to look for my bird, I'm supposed to now be looking for my bird, so we'll do that. Off she goes. Why don't you whistle for the bird before you fly off? Or jump off the edge, I should say. Alright. Now. We can probably... Oh, I was about to say we can probably find a save point and complete this recording. It seems that I found the statue very, very quickly. Alrighty. So with that, that will be the conclusion to the first part of my rebooted Let's Play on Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Among my Zelda Let's Plays, this will be added to least frequently for the reason that I do want to get Majora's Mask done fairly soon. That is pretty close to being done, to be honest. I'd say there's another 4 recordings to go. In the case of Breath of the Wild, I will be recording that more often, if only for the reason that I've actually been recording it since, you know, early 2017 when the game first released. So it's a priority of mine to get that finished. Whenever I sort of feel like playing this game and feel like I have recorded enough of Majora's Mask and Breath of the Wild recently, when I do feel like playing this game, then I will record this, but yeah, not the highest priority among Zelda games. So yeah, I do thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time I'm doing Skyward Sword or anything else of mine that you'd like to watch. Bye bye.